La, da, 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 da. What up, everybody? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into my channel. You already know it's called My Miraculous Life. My name is Michael Paul, Mike Peasy, whatever you know me as. I say we loosen up the moment a little bit and let's get a little relaxed. Wouldn't you? I just got to undo the tie because honestly, it feels like somebody's choking me. All right. The name of today's video is Fail Big. That's right. I want you to fail. That's right. I want you to fail and fall flat on your face. Not because I'm a mean guy, but it's because I love you. All right? This makes no sense to somebody in the beginning of the video. FYI, I just want to let you know, I was listening to your conversation the other night, and dude, I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do it. Whatever you were talking about with your homie or your homegirl, and you're like, I don't know, dude, I don't know. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, let's not hold back anymore, everybody, and let's go ahead and break it down. You have attempted to do something in your life. Everybody has tried to do something from the moment that we're conceived and we're coming onto the earth, whether it's your first milestone of like your first giggle, your first laugh, saying your first words, taking your first steps. There's always going to be a first for everything you attempt to do. Life is all about these attempts that we take in different formats. So I wanted to make a video today to tell everybody out there that even though we are attempting to do several things at one time, you are going to fail. That's right. Everybody loves the failing in the beginning when we're watching somebody else go through it. But when you're failing yourself and you feel like, man, honestly, think about it. Like you've seen Rocky Balboa, right? You everybody seen Rocky, right? The movie? And he fails. He gets his butt kicked in the beginning, right? Now we see like, the Avengers, you know, they lose to Thanos and they fail. And we love that in a sense because it makes the story more exciting for us. And so that's why I wanted to tell you, that's right, you watching this little screen right here, that you are going to fail one day. And some things you may fail in that are small, but there's other things that you're going to fail in that are going to be huge, that are going to be weight bearing on your shoulders. And you're going to lose. And part of the best part about life is not when you win every time, because it's a sweet taste of victory. It sounds good. You know, you worked hard to get there. Hence why I'm dressed today, because we are dressed for success. But sometimes in life, what we aspire or what we assume is going to be a successful situation or outcome for us is end up being a failure, and you lose. Especially for people that have put a lot into it, invested a lot of time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, love. When you fail and you look at the failure, you have two choices. And it's hard for people to realize that these failures that happen to us are a way of us getting a ticket out. That's right, out of what? Out of the prison in your mind. Because you have been in a place where it's like you've almost accomplished a lot of things in your life. But sometimes the things that hurt the most when we lose them or when we don't get the outcome that we want, they tend to weigh on us for life. And you always go back. It's like you think back, this was my shot and I missed it at the basketball game. Or that was my chance to tell them how I needed to feel, but I didn't do it and I failed. And because of that, this consequences spawned in my life. And in our lives, those failures, they hold onto you forever. But I want you to take that perspective and remember that failure. I'm not saying don't forget it, sweep it under the rug. It doesn't hold you down, but no, I'm going to tell you that. Actually, I should say that. Your failures don't define you. When you put so much value and thought into your failures and not think of the other half of the perspective on the spectrum that you tried, you put your all into it. And now you have this new perspective that the world is now your classroom. And when you fail, you know where you failed. You know how you failed. You know how you're going to be better in the next situation that you're put in. See, an athlete, I love Kobe Bryant, and I miss him. Like, as a basketball player, he's the best. He's the GOAT. That's who it is. See, Kobe, I remember hearing interviews about him. He said when I would miss a shot, at a certain part on the court, I would beat myself up about it. And instead of staying trapped and regretting it, I would go and I would work harder and harder and harder. Sometimes I would shoot over 500 shots in one day from that same spot over and over and over until I made sure that I was 100% at it. So sometimes when we fail and we miss the shot in life, whether it's a bad business deal, it's money invested into something that you thought you were going to get something great out of, it's a relationship that's been broken, we can't hold on to these things and let them hold us. So I'm saying release it, let it go, and look at it, and don't forget it. Because you're going to look back on your life in the future and think, man, that was the part where I was at this part of my life. Now I'm on another level. And if you're trying to get to another level of thinking, you have to apply this formula to every consequence that you see in your life. See, some people think of universal karma or God blessing us for our good deeds, but sometimes it's just, in reality, it's you putting in the work for your life. See, when you can't say that you take credit for your life. Like, what I mean by that is, let's back it up a second here. Did you make you? Do you have any power and say of how your genetic code was put out? Do you know how to make a baby besides doing the one thing it is to get to the process of making a baby? I mean, do you have all the tools necessary? Are you gonna create a human being yourself? No, you don't have that power. There's only one that has that power to give life and create life and the blueprint for it. And it's God above. See, God loves you. And I know some of us sing like that's some cliche that we hear, Jesus loves you. God does love you. And you could choose to live on your own life right now, making your own decisions, seeing the consequences of the actions that you chose and the choices you made spawn out in your life. Or you can believe that this is all part of a greater plan. I'm going to help you see clearly for a second. See, when we think that we have the power of our lives, it seems like we destroy our lives a little bit more. And these things that we hold on to us, like material possessions and such things like that can be lost in a second, we lose ourselves apart with that. So I'm here to tell you that you have a greater plan. There's a greater destiny ahead for you. And if you choose to believe that there's a God up there that knows how many hairs are on your head. He knows the exact increases of all of your palm print, your cellular structure. I know if you want to go on that level. But God has a greater plan for your life. So when you fail, it's all part of the plan of failing. And once you learn to accept your failure and see that there's a greater way above it, it's like when you go over a mountain and you're going over the mountain and you think, man, that was a tough mountain to get over. And then you look over and there's a gate that's blocking the side to the other mountain you have to get over. So you got to find a new way around because you're not going to make it to jump over the gate. And most people, what they do is they sit there hoping that somebody's going to come and just break this gate down. And they're going to magically be happy and things are going to magically change around them. But no, you need to find another way around. And whether you started that journey alone or somebody was with you when you started the journey, you have the responsibility of getting yourself across the next mountain, because that is life. It is hurdles and obstacles. And sometimes the hurdles are the most beautiful parts of our lives, but we're just too stuck in the moment and in our own emotions to be able to surpass that. So I'm going to leave you with this. There once was a man that was painting a portrait. And in the portrait, he had painted all of these beautiful colors. It was unlike anything anybody's ever seen. And your eyes gazed on that portrait. And you know what you saw? You saw the picture of your life with the most fluorescent, brilliant, majestic colors all meshed and camouflaged together. But then when the author started to use dark colors, you said, no. We don't need to put black. There doesn't need to be gray in there. Just keep it the way it is. It looks great the way it is. But the painter said, no. Without these dark colors, you don't see the picture that I can see in my mind. For I'm the one who's painting the picture. You're just the one who gets to observe it. And so it is with what I'm telling you. God is the author of your life. You may think that you have ultimate responsibility for your life, and you do. If you don't believe in God, you do. You own up all for you. But if you know Jesus, you know that your life is not your own. And that's what I'm here to tell you. Sometimes you gotta paint those dark pictures, those dark outlines and dark colors to see the full grasp of what the masterpiece and the final outcome should be. And that's your life. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, me gusta mucho, something like that. Or for all my homies in the club to be like, I don't know why people be dancing like that, but I got myself doing that. Heads up, my kid, who's a tween, she told me, Dad, if you dance with your hands closed, you're an old man. That's what they say. So I was like, for real? So what am I supposed to dance like? She's like, anything, hands open. So I'm trying to stay young and youthful. So when you see me dancing, I'm gonna try to keep my hands open. If you keep your hands closed, that means you're an old person.